Bago tayo dumako sa ating formal diskusyon ay meron muna akong ilang mga katanungan para sa inyong lahat. Ginoong Atamosa, how did you derive your answer in the activity? So paano mo natagpuan ang iyong sagot o saan mo kinuha ang iyong sagot mula sa ating activity ngayong araw na ito? Okay, maraming salamat sa inyong kasagutan. Maaring tama. Titingnan natin sa susunod na talakayan kung ano nga ba o tama nga ba ang iyong sagot. Para sa pangalawang katanungan, which set of pictures shows the apartheid system in South Africa? Or what is your observation? Explain. Ang hinihiling ko, I see somebody raising their hand. Ikaw, Binibining Sarin. Okay, very good. So, let's just see kung tama nga ba ang iyong kasagutan. So, i-check natin mamaya kung tumpak ba ito, meron ba itong kaugnayan sa ating magiging paksa ngayong umaga na ito. So ngayon, bago tayo magsisimula, I believe that all of you have seen the television, the YouTube, the social media, or what are the things that is happening around us, and what are the different issues happening around. So, our topic for this morning is all about the apartheid system in South Africa. So, I believe that all of us are familiar with the apartheid system, and I believe also na you have the previous knowledge about this topic. So, before anything else, what is apartheid? Anyone from the class can give the idea about apartheid, or what is the thing behind the apartheid system. Okay? I see somebody raising their hands. Okay. Yes, Ginoong Prenyos. Okay, it can be. Maaaring tama. Anybody? Ginoong Kaya. Okay, very good. Anyone else na gustong dumagdag? Okay, maraming salamat. So, to start, the apartheid system means segregation or apartheid. It was a system of institutionalized racial segregation that existed in South Africa and Southwest Africa, now called Namibia, from 1948 until the early 1990s. Apartheid was characterized by an authoritarian political culture based on Baaskap or white supremacy, which ensured that South Africa was dominated politically, socially, economically by the nation's minority white population. According to the system of social stratification, white citizens had the highest status, followed by the Asians and the Coloreds, then Black Africans. The economic legacy and social effects of apartheid continues to the present day. So as we can see, nangyayari kasi yan way back 1948 until 1990s that the African land was being colonized by white people from Europe and America. Then, because of that, there is a separation between the black people and white people, because white people believe that they are far supreme than black people. So they create a segregation, limitations that could separate those black people from them. Kasi ayaw nila na meron silang kahati, and they hate the skin color of the African people. So yan ang nangyayari. Nangyayari ang apartheid or the term apartheid. So nangyayari yan politically, socially, and economically. So there is a bias, or there is a discrimination between the black people and the supremacy of the white people. So broadly speaking, the apartheid was delineated into petty apartheid, which entailed the segregation of public facilities and social events, and grand apartheid, which dictated housing and employment opportunities by race. Prior to the 1940s, some aspects of the apartheid had already emerged in the form of minority rule by white South Africans through socially enforced separation of black Africans from other races, which later extended to passed laws and appointment. Apartheid was adopted as a formal policy by South African government after the ascension of the National Party or NP during the 1948 general elections. So yan ang nangyayari sa South Africa. So there is a great discrimination talaga na nangyayari, class. So we cannot hold them because they are powerful and walang magawa ang mga black people but to obey and to follow their command, the policy that was being implemented by white people. So sila ang naghari sa buong South Africa, and it happens that there is no equity and equality between the treatment, the ownership of land or properties. So yan ang nangyayari, kaya merong mga kaguluhan na nangyayari. So despite of that, napagkasunduan pa rin na gagawa ng policy, rights, and limitations in the apartheid system. So there is a law that being passed in the government of South Africa na naglalayon na ipatupad ang mga pulisiya, ang batas, ang limitasyon at karapatan ng Black African as well as the White African. So to avoid conflict, so meron mga batas na itinalaga para magkaroon ng kapayapaan at kaayusan. So a codified system of racial stratification began to take form in South Africa under the Dutch Empire in the 18th century, although informal segregation was present much earlier due to the social cleavages between Dutch people. With the rapid growth and industrialization of British Cape Colony, racial policies and laws, which had previously been relatively relaxed, became increasingly rigid, discriminating specifically against Black Africans. In the last decade of the 19th century, the policies of the Boer republics were also racially exclusive. For instance, the Transvaal Constitution barred Black African and colored participation in church and state. So even in church and state, there is a separation and a segregation that Black people should not take the lead in the community or in the church. So white people are being prioritized. So yan ang nangyayari po. And the first apartheid law was the Prohibition of the Mixed Marriages Act of 1949 and many others na mga polisiya na ipinatupad to just give equity and equality between black people and white people and to give justice naman sa mga black people kasi sila ang nagsasuffer to what is happening in the community. They are very vulnerable because of their color, because they are being discriminated because of their color, their culture, and the way they act in the society. So, you can read all of that na nakalista ng mga batas na itinalaga and all the law na ipinatupad ng South African Republic. So, I believe na all of you have really understood this different act na nangyayari. And I hope na maintindihan natin lahat na despite of being different, black or either white, we have to accept differences and we have to appreciate the beauty of diversity. Because nangyayari ang isang kaguluhan because of our different ideology or different perception about culture, ang pagkakaiba natin in terms of our language. So dyan nakakaroon ng conflict, and it is a barrier towards improvement in society. So I hope that all of you really understood the apartheid system, and hopefully in the future this will not take more serious chaos na madudulot sa ating society. So that's it.